So what do we got? We got about 4 minutes till the open of oil. Is that the overnight high right there? That is not it. It is higher up than that. Let's get a little more perspective on that. Oh, fuck off. Ninja Trader. Okay. There it is. Okay, so there's the overnight. No, that's not it either. Ah, there she blows. Okay, this is a very interesting little pattern, isn't it? Boy, I really like this little pattern. So we are sitting right at the bottom of the first hour low from Friday in oil, which puts us up 3% and change. With the overnight high conveniently right above us at 60. This is a cool long setup, but I don't want to run it until we open. And I'd rather get filled down here someplace, 86. So like right there is a good spot. And where else would be interesting? 94, 97. All right, so park a few of those down there and see if it comes down to get me. All right, looking interesting for our potential CL oil B to overnight or A to overnight here is what I'm looking at. I think we might just get it, but I've got some orders down here. I'm going to try to buy a weaker open because we're already up 3%. And so basically I'm just got some orders down at the other end of the range. That's what those are. We'll see what happens when it opens, which is in about 2 minutes. If this, interestingly, my order is right where the VWAP is. That's also interesting. Not intentional, but it's a coincidence if you find good order spots. I might play this in CL instead of micro CL if it plays out right away. You might just see me hit the market up here and get long because that's right there and there's no volume between here and there. It really looks like that's what it's going to do. But I'd rather be long down here than try to just grab that. So anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it this morning. Got 2 orders in the queue down there and we are about to open. So there's the pre-open shimmy. It's just always, as people remove their liquidity, their bid and ask, the market, right before it opens, all markets do this. They jiggle it a little bit. I call that the pre-open shimmy. It's like it's dancing. This is going to go up. I really want to get long, but I'm just not going to chase it up. I want any sort of pullback I will buy, but I probably won't get it. It looks like it's going to take out the overnight right now at the open. As predicted. Oh, well. I do not want to chase that up. That's just, you could get swept all the way down to here and just crush. So push down is definitely a long. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we get it. We want the push down to buy, or we want to see just tons of absorption right here, which we're not seeing. Good. We'll push down. Maybe we'll join the market right here. Yeah, I put one on at the market. I'm going to get long. Just, it's too good a setup not to. Just for the break of the ledge, which is up a little higher, like right here. All right, here it goes. And come on, boom. I might take one in oil and CL as well. Instead of I've got one on in the micro. I'm long from 47 here, just, front running it a bit. Yeah, now it's pushing down, of course. That's why I'm doing it in micros. I really would like a fill on this 97 that I put up earlier, or either of those two. which is really where I want to be long, but I just don't think it's going to go down there. This is looking like it wants to take out the high, but you never know. This is why I'm doing this in a micro. I need to give it a lot of room for this. Remember, I'm trying to buy the bottom of the range here, so that's what I'm doing, Jeff. Yeah, don't like the amount of heat I'm taking, but it's coming down to where I really wanted to buy it. I should have been more patient. That would have been a smarter move. But let's watch this here. I still think this is going to ultimately pop. All right, so now it's the bottom of the really short range. Still hasn't gotten to the bottom of the range I really want to buy, which is where those orders are. So I'm not going to add to it here, but so far, I really think this is going to go on a pop, but it's up a lot already. That's the reason it might not. So who knows here? Let's see. Might get out of the way on this one and go back to letting it come down to me. That's why I haven't done it, because every now and then I start saying that and I see some buyers. Let's see if we get a lift back up here. This might be worth hanging on for a second. Again, this is why we are in micros here. This is just not a good spot at all. It's a long, but it's a really crappy spot. I want to be long down here. So I think I might bail on this one. Well, high volume node forming. Come on, oil. Yeah, tease me again. Tease me once. Shame on me. Okay, yeah, no, I don't like it here. I want to buy it lower. I'm going to get out of the way on that one. Let's see if we can get a better, if this actually works or not. Let's see if we can get a better entry. And I'm going to switch this to this. That will be more fun. Yeah, okay. All right, it's the bottom of the fast range now. Still not the place I want to buy it, which is down about another 40 ticks. So yeah, I'm going to let this come down. I'm watching a footprint of this also, guys, on my left monitor as usual. And at the moment, it's not really telling me anything informative. I can see if I can show you what it looks like right here. So that's a period. It's a really, this is why I hate oil. I love it and I hate it because, sometimes it just doesn't talk to you the way the indexes do. If it holds right here, that's the long again, but it's just, I like it a lot lower down. And I already experienced what happens if I get too anxious to take the trade. Just got to take too much heat. So it's just not, the idea is not good. But again, it really looks like it wants to go up from here. Lack of momentum is our problem right now with the oil trade. Yeah, a move like we had like this that I'm pointing to here on this 10-minute chart, that's possible right here. We have a lower high there. We haven't made a lower low, but the volume is diminishing. It just, that's a yes. Here, let's go back to 1 minute on this. Now that we understand the context, we can just keep an eye on the very short term. Yeah, look at this. Higher high and lower low. Price discovery. Got to wait for a good entry or abandon the idea of oil, which is generally what I do after 15 or 20 minutes at this time of day, because the indexes will be much more interesting. So we'll just keep an eye on this and see if maybe that, if it starts going really aggressively toward the ledge, I'll join it long again, but I don't want to get stuck up here like I did last time. It's just, the idea is working, but it's not risk manageable. It's got too much range. And it's not a clean range either. As I was just looking at, it looks like it could break down. So let's not be the person it breaks down upon. The TPO view of this sheds some light on what's going on. Really clean down here. And this has to clean up. It's not at all orderly at the top. But that doesn't mean it will do it, this morning or today even. So that's the problem. Could end up being a weak high and we'll go down and we'll come get it later. So. Anyway, I think I'm going to abandon oil. It's just going to distract me off the indexes. I'd be willing to bet as soon as I do, it'll probably go take that ledge out and my trade will work. But I'm just not feeling like sitting in this idea when there's an index setup that's much more attractive. So I'm going to follow my own advice and do just that. So we are closing down. I'm just going to minimize all the oil stuff. We'll leave it running in case we want to come back quickly. But we will go back in the meantime to our view for indexes at the open. Let's see, I need YM. There we go. Yeah, I think the danger with the oil trade today is that it's already up 3%. So, that I bet that ledge goes, but if it was flat, it would be a much better setup. Flat with a ledge right above us. That I would like a lot better, or up a 1%, The fact that it's already up a chunk, it's vulnerable. That's the bottom line. Vulnerable is not good. Vulnerable is risk. All right, we are back to indexes. So let's put that footprint back up for the moment. What's going on up here? Nothing. Boy, really interesting setup as we were talking about at the Ides of Monday this morning. UB right there. UB right down there. Two-headed UB, 31.5 and 71.75. It's a huge, well, not as huge as we've seen, but it's a nice 40-point range with UB at both ends. That's a really good setup because odds are really good we're going to have action to trade. So I'm just going to stick with that and let Mr. Oil go do his thing because oil just isn't being friendly this morning, whether that trade works or not. I'm not even going to watch it. But at some point, I'm fairly certain oil is going to break its overnight high, probably already doing it as I'm saying. All right, so I am going to do nothing else here until we get to the open, which is a ways off. Whoops, yeah, 607. Let's see how this behaves as we get a little closer to the open. So for right now, I'm not doing anything, but I've had some really good scalps this morning in the indexes. In fact, the only trade I've lost money on is that one I just did in oil. So isn't that normal? So yeah, let's just see what happens here. I'm going to sip coffee and do nothing. Now, what would be interesting going into the open is to switch this to 5 minutes instead of 30. We can get an idea of what the range looks like. Yeah, that's what I thought. The top of the range is real hard at the moment, right under 60. So that's a very interesting spot to watch between now and the open. See if it picks away at that or if that holds. I'm going to leave that on that. Okay, so what else is happening in Cambria? And while we're waiting for the open, I'm just going to stick my head outside and see what the deer are doing. It's just before dawn here. It's kind of a nice time in my neighborhood. I love mountain fresh air. Righty, so. Oh, this is too funny. So there's 3 does and a young buck right outside of my office window in the dark. And the buck just looked at me and took a giant pee right in front of my office window. He's marking his territory. I'll show you. That's really funny. Absolutely, Amy. That's a really good point. Yeah. There's so much opportunity in the indexes this morning. I'm just going to really be patient and wait for ace-king setups. And when I get them, I'll play them. But, oh, look at that. So this is, remember I was just talking about, we had, pretty solid ceiling up there and we just popped through it. So there's another indication that ultimately we're going to go take out that northern UB at the top end. But again, you never want to chase these things, particularly in the pre-market when, it's the volume's this low. But certainly, if we open down at the other end of the range at all, or even just back, at this volume bulge between say 52 and 57, that anywhere down there is a good spot if this opens like this, because there's obviously a bit under the market right now. I remain concerned about the volume. The volume is still too low, 300,000. That's just crazy low. But we've had a couple of days where the overnight was sort of low, and then right at the open, they charged out of the gate. So that's possible too. All right, I'm going to put this back up, but then minimize it so we can keep an eye on all four of the indexes at the moment. So these are 1 minute views, and then it's just giving me a sense of the wave volume, which, as you should be able to see, that it's springing out of this range across the board on all four indexes. So this is definitely a long setup, and poof, there's another 5 ticks as I say that. But you plan right before the open when this kind of action, you can get off sides really far, really fast. So, I'm not saying don't trade this long. It's a nice long, but you got to be really nimble, particularly right before the open. So I'm going to reset all of my volume profiles there, or my total trades rather, and we'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, Meki, you're at that phase where you're starting to see that, hey, I actually have an edge and I can make money doing this. And so you want to be in there doing it all the time. and I get that. That's part of the finding Bubba. Once you have an early Bubba, it's so exciting that you just want to play with it all the time. But, discipline is always critical on particularly on that point. Alrighty, real quickly, I'm just gonna switch this one over and see what our friend Oil's doing. It still hasn't gotten to that point I want to buy, but it's almost there now. So it's worth keeping an eye on. But again, I am not in a hurry at all to play Oil today. It just may have already had its little run. So, yeah. Now, I think the indexes are in a really interesting spot for the open. So got this low volume node here up to, the overnight volume, which is right at the ledge. So again, anywhere down here in the low 50s is to mid to 57 is a really interesting spot. Even 59 or 60, there's a high volume node there too. So that, right on the open, if it's down there and we get a bid, that might be a really good open 5A trade. We'll see. I'm always more cautious with trading the open on Monday than I am on other days, which is why it's named the Ides of Monday. I've seen so many Monday openings where there's some overnight action, and then, we just immediately get a flip set up where it just rolls over and everybody comes charging out of the gates the other way. So people ask me all the time, can you predict how it's going to open based on the overnight? And the answer is yes and no. You can get a sense of what's going on, but the rookie error is when you assume that sense will continue. Remember, the open is significant for a really important reason. There are a great many dollars that do not trade overnight. There's funds that are not allowed to. There's traders that just don't want to. But the massive amount of money becomes available to enter the market if it wants to the minute we open regular trading. And so, the overnight is informative, but it is not, you'd never marry the overnight action. Always let the open open. That was one of the things I learned right away when I was trading futures. I had this trade with the open 5, which is, I used to call the 2 and 2, as Darren mentioned the other day. Back when I was looking for 2 points in the first 2 minutes. So I used to shoot for an 8-tick trade and take it right on the open, sometimes right before the open. This is pre-order flow days, just based on volume and price. And so anyway, it's gotten more refined as we have better information. But I have seen some pretty crazy moves right on the open because of that. So, for example, there might be a mutual fund that's got an order with, 5 different brokers, and they're liquidating equity position going into the holidays. They're putting the profits in the bank, and that's all. They're not going to trade anymore. You're going to see a lot of that in the next few weeks with, where we've been up at all-time highs. And, some of these guys are mutual funds run a lot of money. And if they do that, again, it doesn't have anything to do with the structure. It's just a large other time frame trader that can impact the price significantly. So, you'll typically see them as passives, limit buyers, limit sellers, but not all the time. Every now and then they'll just all right, sell 100,000 ES, and they'll send 2,000 or 2,500 lots to all the different brokers they're in business with, and then all of a sudden the market will just get hit short really hard. And I've seen that a lot, particularly during the holidays. Toward the end of the year, rather, not really the holidays, but this year has been weird. But it's profit taking. That's all it is. Okay, so I don't see any other comments or questions. And like I said, my sessions, my live trading sessions will be a little bit more interactive probably than Lee's or JVC's might be. I'll answer questions and I'll do a little more teaching sometimes, but I'm also going to try to shut my mouth and trade and then explain what I just did. I haven't been doing enough of that, so I'm also focused on that. I'd like to get some size trades on, obviously not under these conditions, but once we settle into a range or whatever, I'd like to demonstrate like some 5 and 10 lot ES trades, because those can be really fun. If you think about it, do a 3-tick drill with a 10 lot. That's it. Woo, see, there was a nice sweep down. That's why I don't want to trade right before the open, stuff like that. Yeah, 3-tick 10 lot is a $370 trade, or $375. So you got to pay some commissions, but not much. And it happens instantly. So there's a lot of fun to trading size, but it will scare you when the market's this volatile if you're not well disciplined about where to try to put size on. And also, as I've said over and over again, trading size, you have to almost, every time I scale up, I always have to do it very carefully, and I have to go through the same process. I don't just one day, instead of trading 5 lots, trade 20 lots. And you have to really reprogram your head and your risk management, because if you make a mistake when you're scaled up, it's so dramatic on your P&L. And so you really have to be mindful. Even if you're thinking scaled up, your decision process is always, is this a 1 lot trade? And then if it is or not, is it worthy of more than that? What I kind of do is I do my stop, look, listen, smell, get the context really clear in my head. Then my next kind of contextual orientation is, all right, which way are we going? Is there a dominant direction? And, if there's a trade that's based on that works, what's the appropriate risk for it? Is it a micro or is it 10 minis based on the scenario and the quality of it? And then the next thing I ask myself, I don't talk about this all the time. The next thing I ask myself is, what's the time frame for this particular idea? Is it a scalp or is it a weight setup, or structural that I'm going to, let play out? Because if I don't make that decision before I'm in the trade, I end up going waffling back and forth, which is really bad. If you're going in for a scalp, it should work right away. And if it doesn't, you should get out of the way. But, structural trades sometimes take, 30, 40 minutes to play out. You have to be prepared for that. Anyway, well, this is boring, but that's good. It's settling right at the spot. It's the top of this high volume node here at 64. I'm certain it's going to break the ledge up there at 72, but again, I want a better entry. It's what just happened in oil. We just did it in oil. If you sit up here and try to get your long, and then it pulls back to the place you really wanted to get your long, then it's just impatience. So you don't want to cater to that. Cool, Mackie. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's the idea, is to just kind of stream what we're thinking and not try to teach too much, but just, what's going on. And because every trader thinks a little differently. And it gives you a really good idea how different trader brains operate. The objectives are always the same, but tactically it's often different. My biggest problem with my trading, the biggest mistake I ever make, and I've said this over and over again, is when I let a scalp become a weight trade, and if I'm scaling into it, this could play, every time I do that, sometimes they end up profitable, but it's never a good idea. So that's why I always divide that up. And, this time of day, I'm always scalping. So as much as I like the structural idea right now of going and taking out the ledge at the top, there's just no way I'm going to, put the risk on here at 65 at the top of the high volume node. Despite the fact that, clearly we are going up. So got to get a better entry or not do it. Or, the other alternative, obviously, if you've learned anything in TRG, if I can't get a good entry lower, a good entry might be right on the way to the break. Once we get up here, I might be able to get that sounds contradictory. Like, wait a minute, higher would be less risk. Yeah, it would, because once we're above this high volume node, say anywhere around 70, then the ledge is, and with any momentum, it's going to go. So then you've got a real clear risk reward idea. You know where you're wrong. You know what you're shooting for, at least. The problem down here is, even down here, it's still a good idea, and we're 4 points above that. So you get long here. Then what are you going to do when it comes down here? Are you going to add to it? That's a lot of heat. That's the problem. The real spot to be looking for a long is right there, 55. That right on that high volume node where the VWAP is, and that if you look at the range, that's the midpoint of the range. And that's a long way down. So this is going to take some patience to get a good entry, unless it just opens and rockets up, which that would really surprise me. We've seen that in the past few months, 12 months, 18 months, the buy the dip. Again, I'm thinking about getting long the triple ETFs, but I just don't imagine we're going to get a scenario where the shorts just get crushed. I still expect two-way action back and forth. Yeah, flat should be your default position, Neki. That's the way you should think, that unless I see something that's worth potentially losing money over, I'm flat. And what traders do, instead of thinking that way, they think like this. They think, oh, I could make money with that. They don't consider, yes, you could also lose money. You have to, a trade is an opportunity to lose money. You have to burn that into your brain. It makes money when you're good at executing your process and your edge. But it's an opportunity to lose money because those things are easy to screw up. That's a really important point. So this is nice and quiet and predictable, which is good. Again, any other time of the day, I would be scalping the heck out of this because it's so quiet and predictable right here. But we know why it's quiet and predictable. It's 8 minutes till the open, so we're going to just do nothing and watch it. I mentioned the flip setup. There's one of my favorite setups in my book is a flip setup. And a flip setup is a very simple setup where it goes one way overnight, which this really isn't. This is really just more of a range overnight. And then as soon as it opens, all of that overnight activity gets crushed the other way. That's called a flip. I don't think, well, first of all, we're not really set up for one here. I'm bringing up a 10-minute here again real quick because Ninja has a crappy memory of what I already asked it to do 10 minutes ago. Okay, so, if you look at the overnight, I'll just squish this. Okay, so that's the Friday initial balance high and low, and the session reopen was right there. So basically all we're doing is continuing the range. So this is not a flip setup. But the what's in play is the bounce off the lows right at the close on Friday. That's what's in play. If we get back into that area, back below this 45-40 area, the initial balance low, then this is going to get really interesting if that happens. The potential for us to have a crushing breakdown down there is significant. There's a whole lot of money that's going to get out of the market if it goes any lower. No question about that. So, and the next levels down, on any of the views, there's more air pockets below. There's a lot of air pockets below us, but, just look at the TPO view here, just this, overnight, if it just goes back below the overnight, there's a huge air pocket, and that doesn't even take into account what would happen if we took out Friday's low. And that's entirely possible. So again, I'm not telling you that I think it's bullish, and that's why I'm looking at triple ETFs. I just think we could have one of our typical bounces, and then it could get sold, but it might not bounce. Anyway, we'll see. Oh, I hear one of my alarms. What's that one? Okay. Oh, it's the pre-open one. Okay. Yeah, this is when you're scaling up. You have to really focus on bigger, fewer trades. And that's, and coming from, scalping micros for, ticks to demonstrate technique, that's a completely different mental picture. So that is the mode I am in right now. So I'm going to look for reasonable opportunities, but I'm not going to avoid trades that are not necessarily, big opportunities, but that I can, show something or make some money on. We'll just do them with less scale. All right. Again, I would love to get a situation that is my kind of ace king, let's throw a 10 or 20 lot at it. I would love to get one of those to show you, but we just haven't had one that I really like. But I am prepared to do it. All right. Let's see. I don't see any other comments or questions. Cool. All righty then. Boy, oil's still pulling back. It's right at the spot that I was looking to buy right now. It lost 1% on the way down there. So that's interesting. So it was smart not to be stubborn with that idea. That idea just didn't work. It didn't take out the overnight high. It may later, but never be stubborn with your idea. If your idea works, great. If it doesn't, get out of the way. Remember, a good chunk of your ideas won't work. That's just the odds of the game. If you're 80% winner trader, at least 2 out of 10 aren't going to work. If you do everything right, if you do everything wrong, it could be 4 times that. So, you really have to remember this is a game of odds, numbers game. Getting your emotions all jumpy inside of the game doesn't do you a lot of good. It happens, but just, you have to learn to. I like what JVC said. He talks to his monkey. That's pretty funny. Yes, it is, Amy. It absolutely is. But it also makes me a little bit more, if I'm just going to trade, it makes me a little bit more focused on good setups because I want to show good setups. So from that point of view, it's beneficial. But yeah, like I said, we liked this idea, so we're trying it, and so far the feedback on it's really good. We might mix up how we break it up or who does what days or what parts of the day. We might use different parts of the day, but for now it seems to be working pretty good. Yeah, Mackie, the worst thing in the world you can do is have an opinion if you're a trader. And that sounds really silly, but it's really true. You want to have a bet. You want to have a thinking in bets position, but you never want to have an opinion because the beauty of playing cards is it's such a logical way to think in bets. If you have a pair of aces, or a pair of kings and blackjack, you instantly know your odds and how to play it. And if you think in trading like that, trading can work pretty much the same way, but people don't. They start that way or they want to be that way, but then, then something, some shiny object grabs their attention. Like classic example, if you understand blackjack, would be, somebody gets a pair of aces and that's a pretty good hand to split, but a pair of kings isn't, or a pair of tens isn't, and just learning that, pure odds on these things, that's really, can make the same exact situation or setup, if it was a trade, respond differently just based on the context of it. So anyway. Yeah, trading does get lonely. That is true. Okay, so we are now just a minute out. That's a little reminder to myself that I really want to focus on the pattern right at the open because that's the open 5 trade. So if you haven't heard this before, the open 5 is just literally the reckoning of the overnight at the beginning of RTH. Overnight gets priced in and everybody's intentions get priced in, and it happens pretty quick these days. It used to take longer. So I look for a momentum trade. The open 5A is a momentum trade. It's going one direction or it's not. If it's going a direction and you can join that momentum, you do so. It's market orders in, limits or markets out, because it moves very fast at the open and you don't want to dawdle with your profits. And you take it or you don't. I usually give the open 5A trade a couple of 15-second bars to tell me what's going on, but not always. There's no math to that. Okay, we are open. So directionally, we are up. So that's consistent with what we think might happen today, but can we get long here? Sweeps so far just up. There's the push up. Okay, don't want to chase that. Yeah, it's probably going to take out that UB really fast here, and I'm just not going to join this kind of action. It's too floppy. but it's a long. If you're in any doubt, which way is it going? Up. What momentum is it doing with? A lot. It just took out. No, it didn't get to the UB yet. It's close. All right, let's watch what happens when it gets up here and takes this UB out. This could be really interesting for a short, or it's a an opening drive, and we'll get along with it. But okay, now we're getting some downside sweeps. I do not want to play long with downside sweeps, so I like my short idea on a break of the ledge. Maybe up here. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, this is a very interesting spot, but I'm just not going to predict it. I'll buy the low and I will fade it after it breaks, and I might go along with it on the way to a break. But obviously there's sellers up here. If you're not seeing that, look at how that high volume reversal at the top of the range right there. So yeah, this could be a really interesting day. We did not get to the UB. There's even UB now on the A period bar. You know what? Let me bring back up the footprint here so you guys can play along with our structural home game. Okay, so here's the 30-minute. Oh, that's on 5 now. Let's go back to 30. All right, this is what I'm talking about. There's not only the UB overnight, but this A period's got UB now too at that end. So obviously we're going the other way, so it doesn't matter right now. But this is a very interesting setup. A low that gets bought here, I'm going to join. But right now it's getting sold pretty aggressively, as you can see. So my idea of shorting a break of the UB at the top is a really good idea if we get that opportunity again. I wouldn't be short anywhere on the way up there, and I wouldn't short the ledge. I would short a break of the ledge, call it 72.5 or 75. We're currently trading 59, and this is just a really dangerous place to do anything. The ledge below, or the UB below us, I think it could be in play, and it's way down there at it's all the way down there, 31.75-ish, something like that. So this is cool stuff, but we need to be patient here. Where is this putting us in? So basically, NQ is leading down and YM is leading up. Once we get a little further along, we're going to want to go look at the heat map and see what instruments are doing that, because that'll help us figure out which way we want to play this. But right now, I'm starting to think there's a long down here. I'm going to nibble long, but I'm not going to marry it. Let's see. I'm long from 59.5 with a micro. That's all. And I won't, like I said, I will not marry that trade. Make sure I'm doing this where I want to do it. Yeah. I'm going to give it some room, but I'm not going to marry it. If it takes out the low aggressively, we'll get out of the way. Otherwise, we're going to let this rock and roll and see if we can get the UB at the high. All right, holding long from 59.5. I may add to this, actually. Yes, I'm going to buy another one. We'll put the first target at 62.25, which we're about to hit here. Get the first one off profitably, and then we can let this other one run. Ooh, it didn't want to give me that profit. That was a quick move down. I might be off sides here. Let's scoot those down so I can see. I'm going to get out of that faster. I'm going to get ready to get flat. Yeah, now this low wants to go, doesn't it? Watch the trade, LTQ. It's going to go. I'm going to get out of the way. Okay. Boy, great action, but you can really get upside down here fast. There's both long and short setups that are good. At the moment, it's a short trade, but watch the buyers coming in, particularly in NQ, which is the one that's down. Remember, ES is up, NQ is down. You know what? I'm going to, for now, let's just minimize the footprint. Oh, you know what we could do with, we have enough room, I think. Not that one. Hold on. What I want to do here, you guys will follow me here in just a second. There we go. I'm going to try to combine my technologies so we can kind of watch that and still watch the range. Okay. Yeah, the low's going. But again, I don't want to be short down here. I want to know what's going on. Why is YM up 300 and NQ is down? I need to learn more about that in about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, this is a short, but it's bouncing a lot. So let's see if we can find a good spot to join at like 57. Yeah, I think this might be. I went ahead and did that. I'm going to take a short here. And we caught a breakdown, so that's pretty cool. Ooh, very nice. Okay. I'm short from 49.25. I've got to take profit at 48. It's going to get hit, I think. It did. All right, so that was a nice little scalp there, but it's moving around a lot. So yeah, and the energy on the downside is definitely more significant. Look at the bar by bar delta. Which way is the energy? Do you have any doubt? It's definitely to the downside. So we're looking for places to sell this. Let's see. Bup, 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 bup. That's an interesting spot right there. I still think we could hit the other end of the range at some point, but boy, this is definitely getting sold here, which we're getting closer to that UB at the lows. Yeah, I will take a short there too. So let's see what happens. This looks like it really wants to go down. Yeah, I think I might join it even before that. Yep, it's profitable. Let's scalp out of that one. Okay, got 4 ticks on that. Now let's see if we can get a better fill up here, but I don't know if I want to marry this short. This could be accumulation down here. Let's cancel that and watch it some more. All right, while I am doing that, I'm going to just go see if there's okay, NVIDIA is the biggie that's down. In the Dow, it's Apple again and Amgen that are taking us up. And on the downside in the indexes, it's NVIDIA and Tesla. And Moderna again. Okay, that's very interesting. So there's that ledge down there. We're almost in sync except for NQ now. I think I'm going to sell this if we can get any sort of bounce. And this ledge break, we should get filled. No, it's gonna, okay, we'll take there we go. Okay, so we got 4 ticks out of that. But I think that ledge is gonna go. It's just susceptible to a puke up right now. Let's look what's going on down here. Yeah, you can see there's still unfinished business at both ends of A period and overnight. So really unclear what it wants to do next. So we're just going to let it kind of tell us over time here. I mean, obviously you're playing short now, but you could catch some decent longs. I wouldn't, with this kind of energy to the downside, I wouldn't be scalping long. I'm definitely looking for places to sell it, but it's not outside of my my ideas that we could bounce heavily, although I really don't think so at this point. I think I'm going to sell this right here. So let's see if we can get short below this high volume node is what I'm trying to do. I'm going to maybe, let's see, it won't even give me that. I'm going to take one of them at the market. And so now I'm short 2 here. And I might be at exactly the wrong spot, but I don't think so. Yeah, okay, we'll take profits on the first one. Now maybe we can catch a runner down. Maybe not. I'm getting like 4 to 6 ticks on all of these, but it's happening really fast. If you're getting lost in the action, that's not unusual. I'm going to cancel that one. I mean, it makes sense to me because I know what I'm doing, but if you're just trying to follow what I'm doing here, I'm basically, taking my targets when it gets 3, 4, 5, 6 ticks when it's moving around a lot. Once it starts to get a runner, I'm protecting it with 3, 4, 5, 6 ticks, and it's hitting my protection. So basically, I'm getting filled on either side of the trade. That's what's happening. And I do not have a bias here at all. I mean, I could see this rip up, and I could see the bottom fall out, and at the moment, obviously direction's down and that's the priority. You go with the direction. It's hard to argue this is, going up, but we're 5 points off the low. A market that's just crashing doesn't do that. It collapses better. So, we really want the B to A today could be classic trade. And we've got 20 more minutes before that comes up. So I'm really interested in the B to A setup. It could take out the other end of the range, and it could be a wicked good inside out long. In fact, that might be happening right now. See, it's litigating the middle of this range. So along here that holds could be interesting, but it's counter trend right now because it's been going down. So maybe try to nibble a little lower at the other end of the range. That's why I've got an order there. That might work. See if we can get filled. Probably. Okay, there's the end of the open 5 period. Okay, I'm going to get filled here on this long at 41.5. I think. So yeah, okay. So let's see if the range holds. That's a reasonable thesis here. Let's get the target and the stop way out of the way and just see if we can get some traction on this one. Okay, as soon as I have 4 or 5 ticks, I'll protect it. I had it. I didn't protect it because I was saying that. Okay, there we go. Get up there. Come on, I want to get under you. That's how you protect it, obviously. I'm not going to get a chance to do it, so I'm going to make it into a target instead and just let it come up and peel out my 4 or 5, 6, 8 ticks, whatever. Come on. Oh, it doesn't even want to give me 4. Wow. There's 3. Come on. Pop. Okay, yeah, you can always get 3, but if you hold out for 4, sometimes you end up minus 50. I can't tell you how many times that happens to me. I've learned just, 3 ticks is a really nice number. That's $37 with a mini. So anyway. All right, let's see. Cool. Good job, Amy. Amy's reporting 112 ticks scalping MES. Yeah, there definitely is, the potential is definitely here. I'm being very cautious. I've got a nice profit from overnight, and the only loser I have is that one you guys just saw. So I'm kind of happy with what's going on. But I think this could be a wicked long here. I don't want to marry that idea, but I think it could end up being a really good long. So let's fine. You know what else I want to do? Let's leave the 30-minute for now. But I want to be able to change this back and forth. So what we're going to do is put you, I'm trying to adapt my workspace because there's stuff you guys can't see on my other monitor. So I've duplicated some of it. That's what this is. But I'm going to switch this to 5 minutes for now. And so we can watch the quality of this low. I know what 30 minutes looks like. All time frames are wrong, but price rejector on this bar on the 5 minutes. I think this is a long. I'm going to join it, but I'm not going to take a shitty entry. Come on. Let's see if we can catch a quick scalp here and buy it again lower. So if that works, then we're right. Okay, that one worked perfectly and very fast. That was 3 seconds with an MAE of 2. So the long is the right idea now. That's clear, but you got to enter it in the right spots. So maybe here. God, it's really choppy, volatile. So where else? Okay, those are 3 spots I like for the long. Let's see if we get a fill. So this is basically the premise that you hear from me over and over again. Volatile markets, thin markets like NQ and ES, when it's trading like NQ, which it's doing right now, you pretty much have to let it come down to you or up to you. You can't just jump into the market. This high volume node is holding really well. So, it's a relatively low risk place to lean on along. And if you look at the min max right now, there's max, there's min down there, buyers are in control right here. So the long makes sense. Even on the pullback, we're right where passive buyers are. So I may even join this at the market. It looks like it really wants to go up. So I just did that. I just took a market long, and I think I'm going to get some ticks out of that too. But again, I'm really trying to scale into a better position. I think we're going to go up here. And there we go. Okay, we got that one. It's fun when you're peeling off ticks. I'm happy doing that. But I'd really like to get a better entry and scale into it, but it's just not prepared to give me that. So my footprint right now is 5 minutes. Intentionally, I want to really watch the bar by bar action. So remember, we know we're in the middle of the range. We know there's a 0 print above us on the 30-minute, and we know there's UB at the high and the low. So I don't need to watch the 30-minute to see that. I know that already. So that's context. That's what I mean by that. Boy, that was a 12-tick sweep right off of 60 there. Be very careful if you're trading either way. There's 2 direction sweeps, but that's the first significant downside sweep we've seen moving up, and that was a big one. So, people are clearly selling into this up here. And, and we still have a ton of ways to go to the ledge. It's up there at 70 3/4. So I'm going to look for, this is a long. Obviously, I'm not in it, but I've had a bunch of scalps that way. These orders down here, 46, not likely to get filled now. We'll cancel them. And we will kind of reset our brain. The sweet spot, I think this morning, might be right when we see the beginning of B period in about 15 minutes. That might be exactly when the long plays perfectly. It's a classic JVC, B to A. And I think that could very likely be the case this morning. So let's kind of just wait until we get a a higher odds entry somewhere. To the downside, it could easily go test the other end of the range and take out the UB down there. And it's still there, so down to go up would be just the sweetest thing. If we go down, we take out the UB and buyers step up after that, and then we get a two-sided day, double break day. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We definitely have two directional action. I'm trying to add up the sweeps in my head, and so far the sweeps up are dominating, but we have had two substantial sweeps down. And again, I just keep track of that for risk. You can't trade long into a risk sweepy down environment, and you can't trade short into a sweepy up environment. And right at 60, we're getting bidirectional sweeps right here where we are now. And they're pretty big, from 57 to 60, 75. There's another 6 or 8 ticks. I'll reset that. You can kind of watch it as it plays out. Yeah, see, it's really energetic around here in both directions. Too hard to manage along with risk. A long lower down is interesting. I wouldn't short this here because it probably is ultimately going to go take out the UB up there. B to A is definitely the most interesting setup on tap right now. Oh, JVC's back. Cool.
I am.
Yeah,
I've been back for a while, actually.
Oh, okay, we abandoned oil early, and you've been hearing what I'm saying here. I think this is a really good setup, but I want to wait for a better snap at it.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like you had the same experience I did with oil. I took a bunch of stabs at it, sort of up a little, down a little, up a little, down a little. This is not doing what I thought. So forget it.
That's exactly what happened. I said, no, thank you. This is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was already up 3% at the open, even though it was a long setup, and that was the problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
If it was only up, 0.5% for the long ledge break, and that would have been a good setup. Anyway, all right. So this is still, we still have a really nice long here in the indexes. YM it's just taking out its northern ledge. Look at that. That's a surprise. Remember, it's leading us up right now. I'll minimize this just so you can see it's up almost 500 points, but NQ is down a tiny, a quarter of a point. So, and I told you why. It's Tesla and NVIDIA, and Apple is once again driving YM. So the lack of correlation here is a warning, and I would be very careful. We are going up, but it's, the heat map is always informative in these situations. And this is what it looks like right now. NVIDIA, Tesla, this is not a get long on any dip, buy the dip market. Something has to improve the breadth a little bit. In fact, let me look at the breadth itself next. Let's see what's going on over there. This is the time of day that I do that. So internals wise, up down volumes roughly the same. Again, we have this pattern where we start with a decent advanced decline and it starts to disintegrate. So I want to see it hold. This is what happened Friday. It disintegrated and turned into a nasty day. Same thing with the tick. It starts out strong, and this is stronger than it was Friday. So looks like we still have an opportunity for a bounce up. I'm not buying the triple ETFs yet. I mentioned that in a couple of the live sessions. I was watching them. I was going to do that on a really strong overnight, and YM gave us one, and again, we know why, and nothing else. And, I'd rather just play Apple if I was going to do that. This is not an index, across the indexes event that we're seeing. Apple's holding up YM and everything else is flat. That's how you should read this market. Okay, so... yeah, I've just been thinking and saying since this last 20 minutes here or so, JVC, I really think we're going to have an interesting B to A in ES. I think that could be the trade.
Yep. Well, I mean, you be on both sides in A period, so what the heck?
Yeah, here, I'll put it back on 30 minutes for a second so you guys can see that setup.
Oh, actually, no, we don't have That's weird. Okay. I'm erroneously seeing UB on one of my charts when there is not UB at the low currently. So strike that.
Oh, there isn't for the session. No, there's UB at the overnight low. But it filled out on that last push down, but not cleanly. It's 130 by 0.
Exactly. I was looking at that. Yep.
But we're smack dab in the middle. So, an inside out here, either way, is a really good idea. So I think B period is going to really be interesting. But one of the things I like to look at, if you look at the pullback off of the low here, it was really strong buying. And then in here, there was selling. And we're now, we went above that where obviously this is absorption. And now we're kind of in this middle selling area. So again, a push down that, that we can buy could be a really interesting way to get the B to A. So I like a few different ways this could play out. I'm just going to kind of let it tell me. And again, one more time, once you understand that context, I find it's really helpful to go a little faster and see, the auction within the auction. But not everybody does that. All time frames are wrong. And this just gives me, like, there's a price rejector on the current 5-minute bar at the bottom. So, that's useful. Doesn't mean we're going to go up, but, at the moment, that's the line in the sand you would want to see hold. And it's at a spot that makes total sense. The spot that we just had the big debate at, 59.60, is where that rejector is. So everything is consistent there. The min maxes are the right way around. They were not in a period. They cleaned up. Now they're proper. And, passive sellers are in control, and then passive buyers in control. This keeps happening back and forth right at the edges. And on a 5-minute, obviously that will be more exaggerated. So I find this kind of fun to watch to give me an idea if it's going to break. Right now there's a lot of absorption up here. You can see, all the blue, and, till that goes, the UB isn't at risk. There's also in the back of my head, could this be kind of trade away UB up here? We did have some big MBO orders up there in the overnight JVC. And remember in the Sunday session, we did too.
Yeah, so, I remember Jeff
Todd said that.
Pointed that out. Or Todd, yeah,
Todd
right.
pointed it out. Yeah. So, anything can happen anytime. It's also an interesting, this is currently on 5, but 15 is also interesting because basically, you're dividing the 30s in half. And this is a really good example of why all time frames are wrong, but they can be interesting to look at as long as you know that, there's no such thing as signals. But that, again, we can still see that price rejector down there. It's not a really crushingly strong one, but it is one. And, the double UB is up there, the current bar and the overnight. Could this be trade away UB? That's an interesting question. Again, there's a big chunk of delta that was right there, and that happens to be that bar. So it's not like there's any big volume up there that would lead you to think that. So on the other hand, if we came up there and it just got absorbed and it just couldn't go up, then that would kind of make that case, right? I don't expect to see that. I think this was probably going to break, but I don't want to be buying it from here necessarily. Let's watch that. Look at that. So we're at ebb and flow, and we're about to take out the top of the range if we can. And look at the instantaneous correlation. So remember, NQ is down, but the real-time correlation here is perfect. Can everybody see that? Because understand that we are not correlated, but if you look at the 15-second views, we're perfectly correlated, and that's why I watch both instantaneous and the session correlation. They're both informative in different ways. Okay, here's a little bit of a sell down. This is good. This is what I want to see to get long at the other end of the range. So let's see if we can catch. This could actually be our B to A trade coming up. So let's go back to 30 minutes over here because I'm really starting to like this long down here for the B to A. I'm tempted to nibble on that with 1 if it can hold here in 60. Remember, 60 was the battleground. Let's put an order in there just for fun and see if that holds. And we'll throw on 1 at the market just for fun too. Okay, so I'm long 62.25. I've got an order at 60. I'm basically playing this last inflection point with the idea that the B to A is going to be a long. I'm obviously front running it, but I have good reason to do it. The price action supportive. I'm profitable. I can protect that right there. Perfect. All right, I've got 4 ticks locked in. And we got 4 ticks. Okay, again, I will always take profits if I'm lucky like that, and some structural trade I'm trying to put on instantly gives me profit, but I still want to be long this. So again, I'll take another fill down there at 62, like I just got a minute ago. Wash, rinse, repeat. So this is great action now. If it can hold at 59.60, this is a perfect place to get long.
Max delta overnight's right at 62.
Yep.
60 also.
Yeah, 60 as well, right? Yeah.
Yes, as well. Correct.
Yeah, and again, it's really going to tell you if it holds or not. This is a perfect little asymmetric spot. All right, I added 1 there on down to 60. My order got filled, so now my average is 61.25. We'll take the first one off, maybe at 63.25. Whoa, there's a nice sweep. That's the danger. And notice how I'm moving my stops because I'm not moving my stops. I just want to see this action. A flat button is my stop right now. So the 60 area is now in trouble, but we're still in that high volume node. So I'm not ready to bail yet, but I might bail really fast here because this is getting really aggressive. Yeah, we'll get out of the way of that one. Oops, sorry. I meant to hit the flat button and I didn't. And now it's heading back up. So I'm going to hang on a second. Yeah, this is the line in the sand now. I need to get out of the way if it goes down anymore. Here, let's reset the footprint. See, it's trying to get bought, so I don't want to give it a lot of room, but I'm going to give it room right here. There's a lift going on. Yep, that's the right spot. So just by using discretion there, I just saved myself 20 ticks by not getting out of that loser. I might want to get out of it here, but so far this is actually looking like I was just a little early into this idea. I might even add to it here. God, let's let it get break even or not, just to show good trading discipline. But I obviously had the right idea. I should have been a little more aggressive. But we'll take this one off a little faster, and then we'll see if we can get. Oh, now we might get a shot at some more of this. Oh, what's going over here on the footprint? I'm not seeing anything I really like one way or the other there. Let's put that back to that. Back to that. I still want to buy this. Yeah, I think we might want to get one more here on a push down. Okay, I just added one more there. I like, but I'm going to take both of them off pretty quick here in the low 60s. I think we could get a runner up, but I want to take profits before it happens and then have a runner to go with it. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So I took two of those off. I'll protect it at 59, 50, 60 or so. See if we can catch the long. There it goes. Okay, now we've got a nice runner. And it got filled. All right, boy, this is really active trade management you're seeing me do here. I'm getting winners, but I'm not going to let them go against me at all. Why not? Because, we just saw some massive flushes down. So you don't want to be on the wrong side of this. All right, so this is actually playing out very profitably, but in tiny chunks at a time, which I'm okay with. I still like it long, but, obviously I've been warned not to be long at 65 by the market up here. And, the place to be long is 58, 60, 55 if you get lucky, but not up here. And B period is about, we still have 2 minutes. Yeah, I really think B to A is going to blast the high. And so I'm going to get ready to go with that when and if I think it's happening. That's the only reason I would buy up here. But see, there's the sweep again. You don't want to get caught in that.
Yeah.
You guys say something, JBC?
No, it's just I was the sweep. I just went, wow.
Once again, I'm trying to buy a push down here because I think it's legitimate. It's the range, and that's all I'm really doing. Yep. I'm going to be early again here at 60, but it could puke from there. And I will
57-ish edge of the range right there is just beautiful.
Right. It's perfect. Yeah, and and I'll take one more like right there. It's already pushed down to the edge of that, and you can see what's going on over here. This is on 5 minutes now, so you can see it really granular. The pullback is getting sold, but we're not going down. That's why I'm trying to get long and stay long here, guys. That's we do see selling, but there's buyers under it. It's just a question of where they manifest themselves. Okay, here's 62. I'm filled at 60. Perfect. And I'm already profitable. Good trades work right away. I'll take 64 on that one just for a quick profit, maybe 63. Come on out. It's not going to give it to me. Let's take the quarter and boom. Nice. Okay, so that was a nice 9 ticks. Again, I can do that all day long, and I will do that all day long when the conditions say that's the right thing to do, to get quick profits, trade the range. Look at this. We're going, quote unquote, sideways, and we've scalped now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row, with very little MAE and quick profits. And, it's still in the range. So, I'm not sticking my neck out, but I really think we're going to take this out. I just don't want to be the guy holding the bag at 67.50 on a pullback to 60. I want to be the guy buying 60 and catching the puke up. So maybe 62.5 again. Go ahead,
on that note, shall we switch screens?
Oh, that's right. It's your time, isn't it?
Tis.
Cool. All right. Let's, I just want to see if I get filled right here because I doubled the size of the first order to 2 because I really think I'm right on the sweet spot here at 67 3/4, right on the quarter. Okay, we got them. We got both of them. Cool. All right. So anyway, I'm going to cancel that one. Let's put a target there on the first one. All right, go ahead and grab it, JVC. People can watch all the money I'm making here, picking up $5 and $10 bills. That one just filled too, right there. Boom. And let's protect it and see if we can get a runner. Let's let this trade finish. Boom. All right, we're done with it. Go ahead, JVC. It's all yours.
Cool. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Thank you. All right. So opening in 5 seconds, B period. Let's see. And we're already awfully close to that high. If we can get high. Okay. I'm along there and along there.
Make me a co-host, please.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I'm going to trade. Will as soon as I can. All right. I need to see the delta here hold. The buyers are there. They're holding. Yeah. It's no there's no real aggression to the down. Now there is. Get out of the way. All right. Let's see. Participants list. Jeff, where are you? There you are. Why it makes you not a co-host anymore when you do that is silly, but whatever. Okay. So that idea did not play out right away as anticipated. But now look, and here it comes again. I'm looking at all the delta here to get run over. And if that's what I had thought had happened before, it did get run over and then it just came right back down, but now we're right back up in it again. So, wow. Whew. You know what? Actually, I am at my daily limit on that account, so I'm not touching that one anymore. Just realized. But I will play over here in my top secret experimental account. And
you will play there and let us watch it, but then you'll have to kill us.
Yes, exactly. If I explain to you what I'm doing, I'll have to kill you. I wanted to get through all this, but it just cannot do it. Man, wicked fast movement in both directions here. And I just want to play for that high. I don't want to get sucked into what is for me monkey playing of, playing this range stuff here. I'm not a range trader. I have to remind myself of that sometimes because I do see this kind of stuff and think, ooh. And I want to trade. I want to chase it. I want to play. I want to have fun. And yeah, okay, I could switch to sim or something. Well, actually, this is a sim, but this is a serious sim that I'm trying to do something with. So I'm gonna hold out for my setup as intended. But this is so wild today. It's possible it'll just rip up here and get so close to it so fast that I won't even be able to get in, and that'll be that. And I just won't get it. And if that happens, it happens. Man. Let's see, where's our... Oh, yeah, that's right. Our lowest A period. All the way down here. Duh. And look at it push the range. This is that area 57-ish we were looking at just a little while ago as a nice spot for a long, and there it was again. So you know what? I do like that. I wonder, will it give it to me? Can I get it? Oh, come on. Oh.
I know it's real crazy action, but to the extent that you can, please call out prices on.
Oh, yes. 57.50. I am long. 57.50. And it's not holding. It's not really collapsing either. It was sweep to the upside. Okay, we're back up to my level and sweep to the upside. Nice. Okay. Yeah, the buyers are here. Just need them to step on it and push. And yeah, wow. Oh, and nope. Out. Okay, boy. And maybe it's Zoom. I don't know. You know what? Oh, it probably is because I'm hosting now, aren't I? I'm screen sharing. That's right.
Are you getting a lag?
Yeah, all my hotkeys, everything is delayed, and I realized, oh, duh, I'm screen sharing now, because it wasn't having a problem when I was trading while watching, but while screen sharing, yeah.
So just manage risk, use a sim, and
yeah. Well, I mean a sim anyway. So
yeah,
right. But this is what I consider a serious sim as opposed.
Oh, it's an evaluation sim.
It's not an evaluation either. This is actually just a Sierra sim, but it's one that I'm treating real
Okay,
for testing purposes.
Yeah, this is a good example today. I don't want to step on your session, but I just want to say this is a good example of what I was talking about in Bubba Day, where, there's ideas might be good trade ideas, but the volatility makes managing risk of that idea too difficult. Yep. So you can't do that idea, and you just sit on your hands. But there's definitely opportunity, at the asymmetry here.
Totally. I mean, again, I was looking at that 57 area around here, and sure enough, so far, we poke down a little bit below it because we're just volatile. What are you going to do? It's going to do that. And then we come right back up into it. So it's not a bad idea, but you just have no choice if you're going to play that to give it a bunch of room. And I'm trying
that's the danger.
I'm trying to train myself out of doing that, because in the past, I've always been way too comfortable giving things enormous amounts of quote room. Which is really just taking a loss. So
it's a really common mistake early on too, particularly when you see setups well, because your confidence in the setup is there. But that's I've had issues with that too.
Yep.
So that's one, if you're going to do it, you can always say, well, one way to mitigate some of that risk is, like I was saying at the eye, scale down, use micros, but then you're assigning more range risk when you're doing that, because you have to. So you're going to take heat in this market. And if your Bubba doesn't allow you to take, 6, 8, 10 ticks of heat every now and then you probably need to be on the sidelines. And that's, this is a good time to be on the sidelines.
So I'm long again, 56 quarter, and there it goes. Okay, I'm still looking to play the structural idea. I was just wanting to get a better entry at the bottom end of the range because it just keeps holding, even though it pushes through it. All right, great. We're up nicely. All right, we might be on our way. Gosh, I'm just going to protect. Okay, cool. I got something. On a day like this, when it's this crazy, I will just... If it gives me, like Jeff was saying, if it gives me a really quick, 8 ticks, 10 ticks, or whatever, I'll protect it. And if it just picks up and shoots up to the top of my target or whatever, great. But if not, fine, I'll get my 6 ticks, whatever, and it's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. And now we're pushing down somewhat aggressively, extending the range to the downside. 52-ish is in play. It's a little bit lower of a push than I've seen in the last few minutes, but it's the bottom's not falling out. It's just moving like crazy, and now we're back up at 57. Oh man. And I like the idea here of the B period high going, but it doesn't have to happen. And maybe it happens after the IB is formed. Who knows? I mean, might not get it in B period today. It could be one of those days. But I still want to play towards that idea at least. Delta's just moved. Min Delta was up here, and now it's moved down to 57-ish. So there's our magic 57 level again. Now we're pushing up nicely. And now we're pushing back down. Holy cow. All right. So far, we haven't seen any major traction to the upside. The buyers are pushing it to the max delta around 65, but we haven't seen any major upside energy in a while, since B period opened, really, or shortly after. Okay, but now it's trying. We've got all those sellers sitting up here in the 65, 66 area, and they seem to be still sitting there and still happy to sell. So we're pushing back down. Min delta is right in the middle of the session delta range. At 61 even. So, could that be something to lean on? Yeah. It doesn't blow my mind or anything, but 400 contracts sitting there, plus some more around it. So it's not a horrible little chunk of delta there. Okay, now we're almost rotating positive. Gosh, can we get back up over this again, over all these deltas at 65, 66? And push higher? That would be cool. I would find that very interesting. If we can just push through this, then the high might be in play at long last. But nope, pushing back down again. Whoo, boy. Oh, we poked our head positive for a split second. All right, you know what? I'm going to take a look at correlation because RTY is about to ledge break north. YM is pushing north. It's not near its ledge yet, but it's pushing north. NQ's right in the middle. ES, we know where ES is. It's trying to rotate positive, not able to do it. Keeps sweeping down. Is RTY maybe leading us? RTY's got some old UB overhead. And RTY's trying to ledge break. There it goes. Okay, RTY just ledge broke, and we're heading north. So, whoops, I want to. Oh, all right. Well, oh, hello. Okay. Oh, there. Yeah. Wow. All right. There we go. I'll take that. That was crazy fast. I was looking at RTY, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw that crazy move. Which I would have loved to have stayed in. But again, it could have turned on a dime and come right back down to the Delta range again so fast. I just wanted to take what I could get there.
Those playing the home game, that's a puke.
Yeah, indeed it was.
Yes.
All these sellers here, once they got run over, and that's what I was looking for. I was looking for us to get over this. If we could just push through that, I was hoping that, okay, we're on our way. And sure enough, I didn't expect that massive of a move that fast. All right, there we go. And there's my structural idea done. So that's done and dusted. I am finito with my B to A trade. But since we're here, and it looks like we're not done yet, I'm going to play, this is my testing sim account anyway, I'm going to see if I can play for a continuation to the long side here. Pullback bars, giving a price rejector. All right, I'm going to get long there and just see what we can get. And the answer is nothing great out of the gate. I'm a poet and I know it. All right, but we're now pushing back up again. Okay, the deltas are moving around quite a bit on the pullback bar. There we go. We're positive again. I'm looking for the pullback bar to hold. And if it doesn't, I will get out of the way. And here we go. I think we're going to be on our way. I want to see it get that UB. Come on. Lift off, baby. Let's go. And, I'm long 7150, by the way. I forgot to call that out. All right, there we go. We are moving and we're moving. I'm just going to, okay, there we go. And I grabbed whatever I got there. I don't know, 10, 12 ticks, something like that. Okay, cool. We're probably still not done. So, no, there it was. All right. But now we're kind of, is there anything up here? Is there anything? There's probably something way, yeah, there's some old emoji zones way up here. But I don't have anything in the immediate near term overhead, although I don't have all my IPs on these domes anymore. I stripped most of them out because I found them just to be more than anything that distracted me and gave me ideas. 75 contracts at the high, not an impressive price rejector, but not 100 plus, which is more what I like to see to feel confident that we're going to want to break that. So this is a blech for me. But I do like the delta right here in the pullback bar at 76 rather. And there's the push higher. All right. You know what? I'm going to join that. I was a little late to do it, but I don't like trading with the mouse, but it is what it is. All right. Let's see. I'm looking for pullback bar. We've got our price rejector there. It's decent. It's going. I don't like it. I'm going to get out. No, looks like it held after all. Okay, a bunch of negative delta there. Probably lean on that. Oh, not too late. Maybe if it'll come back. Okay, it came back and gave it to me. Bam. All right, UB. I'll protect that at a tick. Probably get hit. Oh, no, actually. Amazing. All right, cool. And can we push further? I think we can. 153 contract. Nope. All right, see. Sweep city today. So crazy. 153 contracts, though. I don't think that's the last we've seen of that level at 80. And there it goes. Blam. All right. And if we push through there, I will join it real quick. And there we go.
NQ went positive, by the way.
Oh, it did. Yeah. Oh, everybody went positive. Wow. Yeah. And in fact, RTY is continuing to ledge break. YM is ledge breaking. Everybody's ledge breaking. It's a ledge break party. We got UB at the top. All right, cool. I'm just going to go ahead and back this the heck off. Everyone's going long. I like that. We might pull back a little further here, but I'm okay with that here. I like this idea. I like the party that started with all the other equities. Everybody's pushing their highs. So ES is gonna do the same. I am pretty confident. Here we go. There it is. Blammo. I will go ahead and protect that. All right, whatever. I got a tick out of it. It's just so insanely two directional. This is just not a day where you can sit in anything. You just can't. As much as I want to, my structural self is, like, get underway once the move is going. Let's go. Let's see where we can get to. But yeah, not on a day like this, holding out for the structural stuff. Well, and my structural thing is technically done anyway. I mean, that was the B period high. Or actually, sorry, that's the overnight high. B period high was somewhere right here-ish, 70-ish, I think. So right now I'm just playing, 127 at the top. Okay, that's interesting for a move higher. If we can push through this delta here, I think I'll go ahead and join that. Why not? Let's have some fun. And everybody else is still pushing. I'm looking at correlation. Everybody's still hanging out at their highs, wanting to ledge break. Pullback bar. We've got a price rejector in it. I'm long 83 3/4. Pullback bars holding. It's a little more volume there than I'd like to see, but it is holding, so that's fine. And RTY is about to ledge break again. Yeah, I think it'll drag us along. It seems to have been our leader this morning. This is probably just, given what today is like, I'm going to move that stop out of the way because just things are so kooky. It could just do a 10-tick sweep and go right back again instantly. All right, here we go. I think we're on our way. Yep, there we go. Oh, wow. One lousy tick further. Okay, come on. RTY is still edge breaking. I think YM's about to join that party and Q as well. And then ES will probably go. Okay, everyone's kind of pulling off a little bit. But we've got some nice high volume nodes at the top of everyone. Everybody's got a nice bulge on the profile up here. Plenty of interest up here for sure. We're up aggressively. We're pulling off now, though. Okay, that held. That was, I'm looking at the bottom of the pullback bar right now, and I want to see that hold. If that breaks down, I think I need to just step out of the way. And no, it held. Okay, and we're all the way back up to my entry almost. There we go. We are at my entry. So, whew. And what's everyone else doing? Okay, NQ just ledge broke north. All right, cool. I think we're going to follow suit. And come on. Well, NQ did it, but no one else is joining the party right now. NQ top is reasonably clean. It's got an old UB just a little ways overhead, though. Seems reasonable that it could get there. And RTY not really leading us up anymore. It's trying to hold at the bottom of its high volume node up here, old UB at whatever that is, 2190-ish. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Push and Q ledge breaking. There it goes. Boom. And Q just ledge broke again. Can you drag us with you? Not yet. Okay, we're back in that same spot on the other equities. They're kind of holding the lower-ish end of their high volume nodes up here and now starting to try to push up a little. Okay. Still feel like we're going to get a lift off here in the near future. Not seeing anybody really giving back a whole heck of a lot. But on a day like this, that could change on a dime. Like now, nope. Okay, boom. I'm out of that. So, and then we're right back again. God, woof. Good grief. This is crazy. This is not the kind of stuff that I generally mess with. This is so nuts. But it's a good workout. It's a good mental workout to have to read this stuff fast. Taking a look at the other equities, and again, they're just hanging out up here at their high volume nodes. Everybody's just filling out those profiles, and now it looks like we may get that push. Okay, we have a contested level and the pullback. How are our session deltas anyway? They're the right way around. That here, let me just do this so I can see. Use this dome as my whole profile. There we go. Since I'm not trading on it, I'll just put it there. Okay, pullback min delta here is kind of an interesting spot at 81. And it's nope, it's not holding. Nope, did not hold. Oh, and right back to it. Holy cow. Man, upside sweep city. Yeah, I've got nothing up here. The other indices are pulling back a little further than they did before. They've now filled out their volume nodes. And rather than having one little clear bump at the top, it's now sort of one big bulge that covers a much larger area. We're down at kind of the bottom of it in ES, which is right where it is right now, around 79, 80, kind of the bottom of that bulge in ES, but 78, 79 more like. But we're not really at the bottom of that bulge in the others. Everybody else is kind of in the middle of their bulge. So we're just, again, ebbing and flowing, hanging out down around this 80 area. Ebbing and flowing, but just so fast. It's not the nice, calm ebb and flow. It's crazy ebb and flow. But it is ebb and flow. It's just, if you play it, you have no real choice but to be really, really fast to react to stuff. Get a couple of ticks profit. You just got to take it and get the hell out of the way. Because you could be offside 6 ticks in the blink of an eye, which has happened to me a number of times today. And yeah, I mean, the book, there's your why. Why are we moving so much today? Well, the book's thin. We don't even have triple digits almost anywhere. Certainly none a little bit in the inside market, one level. But mostly all we got is double digits. So a little bit, there's more triple digits on the sell side. That's interesting. I don't really know necessarily what to interpret from that, but other than, there's more advertisement on the sell side. All right. Looks like we might be ledge breaking north now. RTY's just done it. There it goes. And AES looks like it wants to try. YM and NQ are kind of making a feeble attempt, but not really aggressively. ES did not play along with RTY. RTY has kind of seems like it's run out of gas. We've got our tops are clean everywhere. So 5 minutes to go in B period. This will be interesting. I don't like to generally play past the IB. Just for me, tends to invite me getting ideas that then take 3 hours to play out or whatever, and it's just miserable. So I've just learned I'd rather focus on getting good in the first hour, 90 minutes, including the Legacy Oil A period. But for those who like to play IB, could be real interesting to see. Is this a week break, 2-sided day kind of scenario? Break a little bit higher on the IB and then come back somewhere into the range, because we certainly have a nice big range to come back into. If we just did, a half back kind of thing, that's not insignificant. We've got a good amount of distance to play. So right now we are not looking like we're ready to just blast off higher at any moment with any kind of aggression. So just hanging out here. Everybody's in a pretty similar kind of spot up near their highs. NQ's sort of lagging. It's a little bit behind everybody else, but not massively. But YM, RTY, ES are all hanging out roughly the same distance from their high. So yeah, maybe we get the what would it be? C period, the C period wiggle when C period forms. Maybe that pushes us over or something. Get a week break and see if we can come back into the range. It's so two-directional. It doesn't feel like it wants to just blast off one direction and never look back kind of thing. Obviously, anything can happen. I can't say with any confidence that couldn't happen, but there's definitely been no shortage of participation on both sides. Got some interesting liquidity right here at 85 on the sell side. Doesn't necessarily mean a whole heck of a lot. Yeah, now it's gone. So there you go. And are we going to ledge break? Looks like everybody wants to do it. ES just did it. There it goes. YM is trying to follow suit. Can't quite do it. And ES is pushing. Okay. We still got UB now at the top of ES. So that's interesting. Deltas are the wrong way around. Hello. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? For gigglies, I'm going to go ahead and get long there. 83.25. I'm long. I'm looking at that min delta that has now moved. Get this out of the way. And looking for everybody to ebb and flow their way back up again. UB potentially to resolve here at the high. 2 minutes out, a little under 2 minutes out from C period. And let's see, does anybody want to lead us? RTY looks like it might want to lead us higher. It's looking like it's going to ledge break. Here we go. Let's see. And okay, well, my stop just auto moved to break even +1. And RTY, come on. Come on. Now it's going to give me a tick. Yep, boom. Okay. And whoops. All right. Well, I entered a tick off where I wanted to get, but that's okay. I'm long again, 83.50. Playing the same idea. I'm just totally playing now. Letting the monkey out the cage. Let's have some fun. $40 to go to C period. I'm really curious to see the C period wiggle and see if all of a sudden we just go wiggle high, wiggle higher to resolve that UB, and then that's that. All right, here we go. It's looking like the equities are pushing. RTY is trying to push. YM is trying to push. ES is dragging itself along with them. And Q is just not really caring. NQ is just hanging out up in its upper volume bulge, but it's not really coming to the party right now. All right, here we go. There's the wiggle, and I'm just going to go ahead and protect here. There we go. Boom. That's the trade I was looking for. Thank you. All right. And are we still going to keep going? And probably not. Nope. All right. There we go. So, all right. Well, at least I got to end on a positive trade on that one. But yeah, overall, this was a brutal day for me. I'm down across the board. But, you know, I stuck to, with the exception of my playing in sim here for the rest of my session, I stuck to my setups, stuck to what I'm supposed to do, stuck to my daily drawdown limits. You know, with the volatility, I did overshoot a little bit in my funded account of where I like to be, not of the evaluators drawdown, but my own personal daily drawdown limit. So yeah, all around, really crazy, challenging day. Good day if you like to do the scalping in and out fast thing. This is a great day for it. Lots of opportunity for that. Structural stuff is a lot more challenging because you just can't really sit in anything and manage it well. So I am going to wrap it there. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate the comment. Yeah, that last trade, at least I get to end on something positive, right? So, oh, you know what? Actually, here, since you guys are here, I'm going to show you something. So I mentioned that this account over here is my top secret test account. Well, here's the secret, right? I'm gonna lift the curtain here, or lift something, and let me just get this window over here so you can actually see it. And, whoops, come on, why are you? Okay, there we go. So here's the secret. Here's what's really been going on behind the scenes in that account. And it's for testing purposes. Today was the day I finally put this through its paces, but here's all the different accounts I've been actually trading. So what I've been doing is entering in one place and trading across 4 others. So I have built myself a trade copier in Sierra, and it's working. It's in fact working really well. I am patting myself on the back as we speak. Here we go. Pat, 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 pat. Okay. Won't break my arm. Because today was the first stress test of this, the first real test where I wasn't just screwing around, but like I actually put it on Sierra Trade Evaluator sim accounts and really used it and really pushed it and really did all my normal stuff the way I normally do it. And very minor issues with slippage. I mean, really minor, especially on a day like today. I was expecting nasty, horrible slippage from the copier, and no, really very little, all things considered. So anyway, pretty cool. I am very excited about this. I don't know where this is going to lead. It is a beast to set up, but I finally managed to do it. It's been like 3 weeks of work on this, trying to get it to work. So anywho, yes, I am thinking about ways to share, Amy. So the trick is, like I said, it's a spreadsheet system, right? And it requires a whole bunch of different spreadsheets on different charts. And so it will require me to do some seriously intense documentation on what it is, how it works, how to set it up, how to use it, what not to do, because it will go horribly wrong in certain ways. Yeah, I can't code C++ at all, Robert. I can't really actually code much of anything. I just hack. I just figure stuff out. So, yeah, I am thinking about ways I could simplify it and try to make it something that could be shared in some form and fashion. So, stay tuned. We'll see if I'm able to come up with something that is not just a completely dangerous thing. I don't want to be blowing up anybody's accounts because I put this out there, and it can go really, really bad really fast. So I'm sure you can understand. It'd be very easy to blow up a whole bunch of things all at the same time. So anyway, that's my Skunkworks project that I've been secretly working out. So that is it, gang. Let's leave it there and have a great rest of your day. If you are trading, watch yourself because boy, is today nutty. So good luck if you are. Have a great one, and we will pick this up again in the pit.